Guys, welcome to Java JSON, and in this video we are going to discuss about a static member flow execution. So a static member execution flow we can discuss in this video. Okay, so simply I'm going to give this some point which is very important for you. So once you understood, then only you can go with the static member execution flow, otherwise you can't understood. Okay, so in a static member execution flow, in object-oriented programming, a static member is a member or variables or methods or class, anything of a class that is associated with the class itself rather than the any particular instance of the class. Okay, so whatever the static members you have in your class, it's itself associated with the particular classes. Okay, it's not associated with the particular instance. A static member are the accessed using the class name rather than through the instance of the class also. This means that they can be accessed from any object of the class as well as from outside of the class. We can discuss this point. Okay, when a programmer is when program is executed, the static member of the class are initialized. So whenever you execute the program, that time only your static member of the class are the initialized before you instance of the class are created. Okay, so before any instance of the class are the created. So for example, let's go to the STS. So for example, this is my STS, and here you can see I'm going to create one class. The class name is something called student. Okay, or student12 we can give. Okay, so this is one class of the student. Now here I am going to create one static method, a statics int I equal to 10 something, or I have not given any value also, and I have just given int, which is data type. And I will create one main method and here I will try to access those value. Hi, you can see I am able to access it, and I have not created any object for that class which is student12, but still I am able to access those value which is int n value. So here you can see the output which is 0. So default value will be provided of the integer I equal to 0. So those value I am able to see. So it's instantiated when program is executed only. If I create here some instance variable int j equal to something like 0, and same thing if I try to call here which is j, it will give me error. You can see here, because it cannot be a static reference to the non-static field j. So this is the static methods. You are trying to access j directly, so it is not possible. So because of that we are getting the error, and this instance variable is associated with the instance, not with the class. So associated with instance, or this one is associated with class. Okay, associated with the class, associated with the instance. So whatever the variables if you created with the static which is associated with the class, without creating an object you can access this value, but the variable which is created without a static which is associated with the instance and without creating an object you can't access it. That is the two things we understood as of now. Now I want to access these variable which is instance variables. What will happen? We have to create a object of the student12 class. Okay, and s equal to new student of 1 2, and then after if I call s out, s, those are the instance, s is a instance variable calling with j, then only I am able to print it. Okay, j value also 0. Also through the s we can access the I also, okay, without and with also. So s dot I also you can access. Okay, so as of now you understood what I am saying. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. Go to the what we can say, paint. So go to the paint, and I will explain you very quickly what exactly is it. Okay, so just remove this one. Okay, here. So what I have done is I have created one static variables. Okay, so for example I have created one static variable which is I, and I have created what non-static variable which is j. Okay, I have written here statics int I int j semicolon. So this is the two variables I have created. What will happen, this value is allocated for every object, and this value is not allocated directly, we have to create an object. So for example I have created one student object, student 1 2 is equal to new student 1 2, I have called it. So this is the one student I have created. Okay, and one more object I will create it here. Which is s2. s2 I have created. This is the two object I have created. Just assume two objects. So if I created one object, what will happen is it will create for this one, it will directly store here 0. Okay, by default when class is instantiated, but for this it will not give any value whenever you create a object. So for example I have created one object here, and inside this object we have a one value called I. So here you can see the I. Here you can see the I. So this is the I variables, and when your object is created, so it will assign the 0 here. Okay, and this is nothing but it will point this variable student s1. Okay, also whenever you created the object, by default this is available for all. So oh my god, here I have written j, it is not good. So just select it and select and cut. Okay, this is nothing but j. So this is nothing but j value. Okay, same thing j value, and this I is also available here by default I, and value of also I inside this object. Okay, so this is globally for everyone. So by default this object will be allocated, okay, for every object. For this one also, if you create this object again, so again it will create some separate object, again it will create some separate object, or same thing it will do the copy paste. So for example, I have created this one, so select this one and copy and paste here. So you can see this is the another object, same thing will be created, and this will also go and point to the S2, okay, S2. And also you can see this will point this one also. So every object a static value will be added, okay. So I hope you understood, okay. So this is the things we need to understand. Later we can discuss each and everything, okay. But this is the flow. Here is the execution control flow of the static members. So this is the some important points we need to know about. So here go with the ledgers. So the static members of the class are initialized when the program is start running. So whatever the static members we have created in our classes, those are initialized when class is start executing or running. Static members are the initialized to their default value, which is usually 0 or null. If the class contains a static initializer block, they are also executed in the order they are appear in the code. So like just go through this point, and if the class contains static methods, they can be called at any time, even before any instance of class are created. So without creating any instance of the classes, you can call those static method also. Static members are the remain in the memory throughout the executions program, and they can be accessed from any part of the programs. This is the some important point we have to know about. It's important to note that static members are shared by all the instance of the classes. So for example, I have created 2 instances as of now. Even if you create 50 or 1000 instance, for all those instances, the static member or static variables will be remain same, okay. And any change made to the static member will be reflect in all the instance of the class. So if you do the any changes of the static member, it will reflect in all of the classes. This can be useful for the creating variables or method that are used by all instance of the classes, or by implementing singleton pattern, okay. So for singleton pattern, we can discuss into the design pattern, what is the singleton pattern, what is the use of it, each and everything, okay. Thank you so much for watching my video.